Hello everyone. Today I'm going to discuss with you job instruction training. Simply we tell this JIT, job instruction training. You can see this is a lean house. In this lean house, when we consider this wall, you can see JI training and HR based structured training and awareness. So HR-based structured training and awareness, when we consider the organization, supervisor above staff, we have to address through the HR-based structured training. But when we consider the operator level, associate level, so we have to address them through the JI training. When we conduct JI training and HR-based structured training and awareness, then only we can create honest, mutual trust, mutual respect, and skillful, flexible employees, if not workforce. So JI training is very important factor for the organization. What is JI training? Job instruction training is a step-by-step, relatively simple technique to train employees. It is especially suitable for teaching manual skill or procedures. The trainer is usually an employee supervisor but can be a co-worker. So most of the time, when we consider the JIT, job instruction training concept, supervisor has to be train their operators, train their subordinates. But usually this practice we can practice in the training center also. When we train the employees, when we train the machine operators, associate for the day-to-day operations, within the training center, we can conduct this JI training activity. When we talk about the JI training, first, we have to prepare the JI sheet. By using the JI sheet, we can do the JI training, job instruction training. So when we prepare the JI sheet, there are three elements we have to include. What are those three elements? Basic steps, key points, reason for key points. Again, I'm telling basic steps, key points, reason for key points. Actually, this reason for key points we are providing to take idea about the quality. So when the operators consider about the reason for key points, they can solve the quality related issues actually without taking any support from the third party person. So reason for key points is very important factor in the JI sheet. Now you can see some sample JI sheet. Actually, I took the tea making process as an example because this video will see not only the apparel sector people, there may be different manufacturing environment as well as other country persons also going through this video. So because of that, I took that tea making process as an example. Now you can see there are some basic steps, there are some key points, and also reason for key points. Just we go through this JIC. Basic step one, clean the cup and liquid. Then key point. Okay. What is the point? What is the factor we want to consider when we do the cleaning activity? Perfectly clean. Why we want to perfectly clean? That is undergoing under the reason for key point. Eliminate the germs. Second basic step is boil the water. What is the special parameter? Up to 100 Celsius. Why? Reason for key points. Eliminate germs and keep the required temperature. Then for the boiled water into cup, Key point is carefully till 1 inch remain. That means we are not filling up to the that means final level. We keep the 1 inch. So below 1 inch we are pouring the we pour the water. Why? Too easy to handle and drink. Then next basic step, insert tea bag. Key point is we have to keep the tea bag inside that water 5 minutes. Why? To take required taste. Next basic step, add sugar. Key point is 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons. In here, tablespoon, that's also highlight. Okay. Because if we put without tablespoon, if we put a spoon, then people can take different idea. There are several type of spoons. So we have to put the specific key point. Then reason for key point is to take required taste. Add milk powder, that is another basic step. Key point is 2 tablespoons to take required taste. The final is stirring. Okay. Then key point is we have to 2 minute stir. Why? To mix sugar and milk properly. So this is the JIT for tea making process. So if we think any person come to learn the tea making process, previously that person don't know about how to make a tea. Then by going through this sheet, that person can self-learn how to make a tea, as well as some trainer can train that person in a proper way. Basic steps, key points, and reason for key. So I'll take another example. Okay, this is related to the apparel sector. Okay, job instruction sheet for site seam operation. This is related to the site seam. Basic steps, key point, reason for key points. The first basic step, take 2 panels. Key point, keep aligned. Reason for key point, reduce height. The second basic step, put under the machine foot. Key point, keep aligned. Why? Reason for key point, reduce high load. Sew and stop before armhole joint. So we have to sew and we have to stop before the armhole joint. Key point, start 1 inch before. Why? Reason for key point, to prepare armhole joint. The next basic step, sew on the armhole joint. When we sew on the armhole joint, key point is slowly. Slowly we have to sew. Why? Correct the joint. Correct the joint. Then last basic step, sew on side seam. Key point is under panel keep, okay, 1 upon 16, okay, outside, because eliminate the open seam. So this is the JI sheet for side seam operation. So if we want to train any person for any operation, we have to prepare this kind of JIC. Again, I am telling this is not only for the apparel sector. Any manufacturing sector, any operation, we can create this kind of JIC. Not only the manufacturing sector, if we want to train some person for the service sector or any other environment, we can make based on their activity, we can make a JIC. So first step for the JI training is prepare the JIC. So please keep in your mind. Now I'm moving to next slide. Okay. When we prepare the what is called that basic steps, when we write down the basic steps, we have to consider two basic rules. What are those two basic rules? First one is basic step can contain only one word. When we write down the basic steps, we can't include several verbs. We can include only the one verb. Take the garment, keep under the foot, sew till the armhole joint. Like that, one verb only we can include. Then second thing, it has to be measured. Actually, when we go into the what is called that SWSC, The JICT is one part of the SWSC. It is undergoing work sequence part. But we have to keep in our mind, if we write down basic step, very short time period, if it is content, then what happen? We can't measure by using the stopwatch. So when we write down the basic step, we have to keep in our mind, we have to write down whatever the point, it has to be measured by using stopwatch. So these are the two basic rules we have to follow when we write down the basic steps. This is some sample SWS sheet. I am not going to explain the SWS sheet. I want to show you in the SWS sheet, you can see, okay, this is the place actually we put that JI sheet. Okay, the important steps mean basic steps, key point, reason for key points. I'm expecting to explain about SWS sheet in another video, but in here I just put, you want to take some idea. JI sheet is one part of the SWS sheet. Okay, right. Now, after we prepare the JI sheet, now we have to train the operator through the JI sheet. That is called JI training, job instruction training. When we conduct the job instruction training, we have to follow four-step method. Four-step method. So there are four steps. You can see step number one, prepare the student, that means operator, trainee. Then step number two, present the operation. Then step number three, try out performance. Step number four, follow up. Now I'm going to explain one by one. Step number one, prepare the student. Then you can see the sequence. The first one is put the student at ease. So when some student come to learn something, first thing is we have to keep that person in a easy mood. So we have to discuss something, we have to relax that person. So we have to put them in a easy mood. Then state the job name. Then we have to clearly tell, okay, today we are going to learn what is the operation. This is the job name. We have to clearly tell. Find out what the student already know about the job. So during the discussions, we should find out if anything know about the operation. That means in this moment that trainee know anything about the operation. So we have to take some little idea. Then get the student interested in learning the job, place the student in the correct positions. So we have to make an interest, then we have to place the student in proper position. So when we put the student into proper position, you think, okay, this is the machine. This is the sewing machine as example. Okay, I'll draw the sewing machine. Okay, just example. This is the sewing machine, something like that. Something like that. You think now instructor, trainer seat in front of the machine. Then we have to place the student, trainee, most probably it has to be, okay, in this area. Why we put in this area? Then student can see all the activities conducted by the trainer very clearly. That trainer can see hand movements, then how to move the materials, then foot movements, everything when that trainee stand up in this position. So this position is very much important. Then we can move to the step number two. Okay, I'm moving to step number two. Step number two, present the operation. So what we have to do? First, teacher demonstrate one work element at a time as student observe. Now we have already prepared GI sheet. Then trainer what is doing? Step by step. Okay, now a trainee observe the things happening. Then step by step, step number one, step number two, basic step three. Likewise, trainer doing the operation. When we do that operation, trainer tell and explain only the basic steps. Trainer telling only the basic steps and show the how to conduct operation, show to the train. After complete that garment, one product, okay, maybe one product. Then when we move to the second product, now trainer telling basic step as well as key point. Basic step as well as key point. During that time period, trainer also doing the operations. Now trainee also observing basic step, key point. Then when we move to the third product, third garment, now trainer telling basic step, key point, and reason for key point. Three factors trainee now observing and listening when the trainer conduct. Finally, all the things clearly explained, then completely and patiently. That means trainer has to work in very patient mood because still that trainee not any experience. That person has not any experience. So trainee has to work as a very calmful man. So I'm summarized now. So trainer has to tell first only the basic step, and they have to conduct one garment. They have to show the one garment. Then when we move to the second garment, trainer has to tell basic element and the key point. When we move to the third garment, trainer has to tell basic element, key point, and reason for key pointers. After complete all the activities under the step number 2, then step number 3 is try out performance. This is very psychological thing. Please keep it in your mind. Now we have to place, that means previously you can remember I have drawn trainer here and trainee is in here. He is in here observing. Okay, this is the machine. Now trainer has to go to the trainee's position, exactly interchange. Trainee has to come to the trainer position. That position interchange has to do in exact way because it is psychologically better. Okay. Now trainee sit on the machine, that means in front of the machine. Then trainer is in the trainee's place. Now we have to give chance to try out. Then what is trainee now doing? Okay. Trainee also complete one garment by explaining basic element. Then trainee has to show the second garment by explaining basic steps and key points. Then trainee has to do another garment. Trainee has to show another garment by telling basic step, key point, and reason for key point. Okay. Then if there is any doubt, trainee can ask from the trainer. Then trainer responsibility is correct all the doubts. Then step number 3 completed. Now we can move to the step number 4. Okay, you can see one by one. Assign the person a task. Tell the student where to go for help. Check their progress frequently. Encourage team to ask questions. Gradually reduce the coaching follow-up. That means now we have to give chance to the trainees to conduct this operation individually. Then we have to follow. The trainer has to follow up time by time. Okay. Then slowly, when the trainee perform well, that means when the trainee's performance increase, trainer has to encourage that person and reduce their follow-up. Then within the time, automatically trainee grabs all the required things relating to this operation. So this is the 4-step training method in job instruction training. Okay, so I would like to summarize job instruction training developed for most of the time to train the operators, machine operators, associate level. If not, I can tell on the floor, if there are some persons on the floor, we want to develop that person, we want to train that person, we have to use JI train, job instruction train. So before we do the job instruction training, we have to prepare job instruction sheet. It include three points: basic steps, key point, and reason for key. When we write down the basic steps, we have to keep in our mind basic steps can include only one verb, and it has to be measured by using stopwatch. So after we prepare that JI sheet, then we can train the person through the JI sheet. So first, we have to prepare the trainee to learn the operation. Then we have to place that trainee into the correct position. Then trainer has to start. Initially, trainer telling only the basic step. Then after complete one garment, one product, then trainer can describe about basic step and key point. Then third time, trainer can explain basic steps, key point, and reason for key points. So after trainer complete all the part, trainer has to solve the whatever the doubt places in trainee's mind. Then that trainer and trainee has to interchange exactly in the correct positions. Then we have to give chance to trainee to try out. When trainee also try out, trainee also has to follow. First, trainee has to complete one garment by telling only the basic steps. Then second garment by telling basic steps and key points. Third garment by telling basic steps, key point, and reason for key point. Then trainer again can involve. If trainee has any doubt, trainer can again solve it out all the issues. Then we have to give chance to conduct that process several times by trainee. Then when trainee increase their performance, trainer has to produce their follow-up and let them to do their job without any support. So this is the job instruction training methodology. According to the my experience as well as researchers found in manufacturing sector, if we can train some person through the job instruction training, it will be create very successful results. Right. So this is very important topic. I think you clearly understood whatever the point which I have discussed. So I'm expecting to meet you with another video also. Thank you very much.